Dagli found out that one of her friends died after she was allegedly fed poison by her parents for being blind. And after this incident, Dagli decided to serve the differently abled. Dagli was fortunate enough to find a life partner who was in sync with her goals. In 1995, Dagli started the Pragna Chakshu Mahila Seva Kunj with her husband, a non-profit organization which provides education, food and accommodation to blind girls.
आज इस संस्था में 200 लड़कियां हैं, 20 बुजुर्ग माता हैं, 35 ऐसी लड़कियां हैं कि जो अपने आप कुछ कर नहीं पाती हैं, जो मल्टी हैंडीकैप हैं, उनको लाना, कपड़े पहनाना आदि सब उनका जो नित्य क्रम है वो हम खुद कर रहे हैं.
Till now, the 61-year-old has shaped the future of over 200 blind girls, and in addition to that, she has also undertaken the responsibility of taking care of people with various disabilities and the elderly who have been abandoned by their families. Her inspirational story won her accolades from Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his Mann Ki Baat podcast. Muktaben Dagli is a recipient of over 50 awards, including the Padma Shri. She is an inspiration to many, and her courage is a reflection of rising India's She Shakti. We at the News18 network salute Dagli for breaking the barriers and believing in Main Kar Sakti Hoon.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. There's lots lined up for you on this edition, but let's get you started with a super exclusive that we have for you here on CNN News 18. And it comes as a no surprise that Pakistan is back to its dirty tricks. Once again, trying to foment trouble in Jammu and Kashmir, clearly rattled at the fact that there are absolutely no takers for their propaganda, especially in the Kashmir Valley. We're now learning from our sources within the intel agencies that Pakistan and its proxies are trying to revive the soft separatist movement in Jammu and Kashmir. They want to time it to the 2024 elections next year, not realizing that all of these attempts are going to be thwarted, like every single infiltration bid has been, like every single terror funding nexus has been broken. All of that will continue happening. Unfortunately for Pakistan, they clearly have no lessons learned from past experiences. They keep trying to funnel money into exercises like these, which have absolutely no effect as far as Jammu and Kashmir goes. Let's take you through what is this exclusive that we've accessed as far as what our intel sources have now told us. Let's take a look at what exactly Pakistan and its proxies are trying to do. What Pakistan and its proxies are trying to do is that they're desperate enough to start some sort of a soft movement, a soft separatist movement in Jammu and Kashmir ahead of elections next year. Their failure in pushing terror across the line of control, across the international border, is clearly rattling them, which is why now they're trying to revive the Kashmir Liberation Front, the JKLF. There is an attempt to try and revive that organization as well. There is a push that is being made to ensure that these kind of instances of hartals, of stone peltings, which have now almost come down to nil after the abrogation especially, are still wanting to try and foment trouble there. There is a bid to restart the separatist movement before 2024 elections. That's what we're learning. This is the kind of attempt that they're trying to make to organize small protests, to keep the separatism alive, to try and organize hartals and stone pelting. All of that is being organized at a particular meeting, the meeting that was on the radar of our agencies and was duly thwarted. The J&K police arrested 10 ex-terrorists and separatists. They were in Srinagar. They were trying to organize themselves, mobilize themselves. There was a meeting that was held at a Srinagar hotel, already on the radar of the J&K police, of the international, of the intel agencies, which is why they were all arrested. The bid was that a democratic political movement, an affiliate of the Hurriyat, was trying to mobilize the youth, was trying to mobilize what are called overground workers to try and revive this kind of movement. There was 2 months of planning that actually went behind organizing this particular event, is what we're trying to learn now. Detained separatists, the arrested ones, are now trying to revive JKLF, is also what the J&K police suspects. All 10 of them have now been booked under the section 121A of UAPA. So clearly, all such attempts by Pakistan finding no takers in Jammu and Kashmir, they've always been on the radar of our intelligence agencies, of our security agencies, and none of these attempts will bear any fruit. Anand Narasimhan, my colleague, joins us, gets us the latest as far as the dirty tricks department of Pakistan goes, and it comes as no surprise. Their infiltration bids are failing. They have no takers as far as their international narrative goes. They have no money for their own failing economy. So desperate attempts being made now.
Yes, it is. But one point that we need to remember is that they may be going to the cleaners in terms of economic penury is concerned, but there is still a division within the establishment that wants to keep its Kashmir intent alive. And they are trying to pull whatever limited resources they have towards pushing this entire agenda there on into Jammu and Kashmir. But what they want to do is, one of the things since the abrogation of Article 370, and which the government has also gone ahead and shown to the world, is the fact that there is no stone pelting, there are no hartals, schools are functioning, colleges are functioning, shops and establishments are open, and there is a huge amount of economic inflow and of course progress that has been witnessed. Now this is something which is irking, because what would be the norm would be months and months of lockdown earlier in the previous erstwhile regime, around the time when Article 370 was still in place. Now they want to revive this entire stone pelting incidents, violence, hartals, etc., and create trouble ahead of the 2024 elections. But the establishment or Jammu and Kashmir government and administration and the security infrastructure alert to these kind of moves. But what's interesting, Poonam, is to see that those people who were terrorists earlier, those who were actively involved in the separatist agenda, are now trying to enter the mainstream, use names which sound very democratic. They sound political, but they are actually separatist, they are not democratic, and they are secessionist. So these kind of activities have been activated, and that is something which we need to be wise about. And this is a move which now has been thwarted. The attempt to try and also subvert the system using the system. So that attempt now has been thwarted, but it's taking them time to organize. Interestingly, they took 2 months to organize this, and they could gather only a handful of people. That itself shows that their entire currency itself is on the wane in Jammu and Kashmir. So that is also another aspect.
And it's paucity of funds that we've seen because of the crackdown that has happened on terror funding, the kind of arrests that have been made, the properties that have been seized by multiple agencies in Jammu and Kashmir in the recent past. They're clearly feeling the heat of all of that. There's absolutely no money to mobilize the people that they would like to do.
Yes, the money is not coming from Pakistan. Money is not coming via the drug routes, or at least it has dried up. What they are actually sending you are packets of heroin via drones. That's and saying you sell it and then you make money. So that's the level to which Pakistan or the suppliers on the other side, the enemy lines, are cash trapped. Here also, because a lot of their properties which were Benami, lot of their assets which they had held on to and which they used to liquidate or they used to use to monetize, they have been clamped down. The entire infrastructure has been clamped down. Entities who are working within the Jammu and Kashmir administration and government and helping them and also giving them plum postings and also passing them doles on various reasons and funding them to come back and once again attack the system itself, using the system's money to subvert the system. Like I said, that attempt also has dried up. So you are right when you say that there is not money. Plus also those entities or those people who earlier used to fuel these people out of fear have stopped, because their own businesses are running very well, their own life have come back on track. And they don't want to have any truck or business, because the state today is standing with those who are not standing with the separatists. Earlier, there used to be a soft backing or a tacit backing, that's the allegation, to these separatist elements by the state or the political establishment itself. With that changing, I think the mood also on ground has changed, and nobody wants hartals, nobody wants stone pelting, nobody wants their child to be picking up stones and throwing at others. So all of that also is changing, is also a reason that these people, their ground itself is receding with each passing day.
Anand, thank you so much for that. There are clearly no troubled waters to fish in anymore for Pakistan, because Jammu and Kashmir is embracing. The real integration has begun since the abrogation of Article 370. The change is being seen by every single person that lives there in the valley. We've seen the kind of development that has come to the fore. The fact that G20 summits were held there. The fact that several of these businesses are looking to invest in Jammu and Kashmir. A lot is being done for the valley, which is why there is absolutely no place, even in the minds of the people there, that they could turn away from India towards Pakistan or its proxies. Former diplomat J.K. Tripathi now joining us here on this broadcast. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We've seen the kind of dirty tricks that Pakistan has employed every once in a while. They try to push terror along the border. They try to push in infiltrators. They try to push in drugs now via drones. Now we're learning that they're also trying to revive this separatist movement in Jammu and Kashmir. Little do they know, though, that there are going to be no takers.
Well, you see, there is a history behind this, because if you see during the last 40 years, every time whenever there was a visit, a high-level visit in India or in Pakistan, or a high-level event in either of the countries, Pakistan had been trying to create disturbances, unrest in the border, and create unrest in Jammu and Kashmir as well. So this is nothing new. But yes, because during the last 3 years, situation in J&K has been quite peaceful comparatively. And only last week I returned from J&K and saw that everything was working fine and everything was peaceful. So now that it is there, the peace is there, Pakistani leadership and Pakistani army and ISI, they are desperate to stir the pot again, to stir the disturbances again. And that's why they are doing, and they are doing this. And one should not be surprised if in the near future, in the very, very near future, there is some clashes or some of the skirmishes take place, or some drones or some other things, infiltration attempts are carried out by Pakistanis.
Yes, Mr. Tiwari, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Pakistan is clearly feeling the heat. We have Major General S.P. Sinha also joining us here on this broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking with us, sir, here. Diplomatically, militarily, we've pushed the enemy back. The enemy is feeling the heat. Now, Pakistan does not have the money for its own economy, does not have the money to hold elections there. And yet, for some reason, their Kashmir obsession refuses to die.
You see, you have to understand the psychology and you have to understand the rationale. Why Pakistan is totally anti-Modi. That is the bottom line. Pakistan is totally anti-Modi, and anyhow it wants to remove Mr. Modi from the chair of Prime Ministership of India. Because Pakistan feels that for its disaster, Mr. Modi is responsible. And therefore, if Mr. Modi continues to be Prime Minister for India for the third term, there'll be POK will fall into our lap. Pakistan is likely to disintegrate into 5 parts. That is the worry of Pakistan. So it is question of survival. It is question of life and death. And therefore, Pakistan is conniving with certain important people in political parties of India and trying to hatch a conspiracy. You must be aware that when Rahul Gandhi went to America, who are the people who are organizing and coordinating his meet? None of Indian Muslims, all Pakistani Muslims. And if there is a Pakistani Muslim who take it, he is ISI agent. There is no other qualification that I can give it to those chaps. So it is conspiracy is totally apparent. And this now previously the focus of Pakistan was in then it switched to Punjab. It tried its stunts in Punjab, incite and give a rebirth to the Khalistani movement in Punjab. It did not succeed. So third option, create mayhem, create Andolan, create Upadram in India so that Modi is seen in a bad light. So India is seen that India is not a safe country. So that will affect our FDI. That will affect our growth, economic growth. So that is a conspiracy, and Mr. Modi is a element. Only thing
Conspiracies, many dirty tricks. Unfortunately for Pakistan, all of them are going to be nipped in the bud by our security forces militarily and, of course, diplomatically. All those efforts are also being done. Mr. Sinha, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We are now shifting focus to the other big story that we're tracking here on Nation at 5, and that's the big push the BJP is making in the south, especially in Tamil Nadu. We are going to be seeing the BJP state president of Tamil Nadu begin his 6-month-long Padyatra. It's going to start from the pilgrim town, from the religious town of Rameswaram. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is already there. He is going to be at the venue from where this Padyatra is going to be flagged off in just a short while from now. This is not just about the state of Tamil Nadu. It's not just about the BJP. It is about the Modi government, which is why we're going to be seeing during the stretch of the 6 months, Annamalai, the state president of the BJP in Tamil Nadu, he is going to be talking about the BJP's achievements, the centre's achievements in the last 9 years. That's the entire plan in the next 6 months, where he is going to be undertaking this journey on foot. Purnima, my colleague, joining us live from that venue from where the Padyatra is going to be flagged off. Purnima, what's the mood like? Have Annamalai and Union Home Minister Amit Shah arrived?
President Annamalai has arrived. We are waiting for Mr. Amit Shah to arrive any time now. That's the state where senior leaders of the BJP and some of the alliance partners of the BJP are also present on the dais. And at the other side, huge crowds as BJP's Annamalai and the Tamil Nadu BJP are all set to start the 6-month-long Padyatra here. Everyone is excited because this is the first time that we are seeing a lot of action from the BJP, and sources say that Tamil Nadu is going to be a prime focus for the 21st Amit Shah personally here to start. Apart from talking about the centre's achievement, the BJP also will be taking a complaint box and also talking to people and taking their complaints against the government. Remember, this is the first time that we are seeing huge crowds for a Yatra. Huge crowds coming in for the Yatra. What is the mood like?
Yeah, as you all see, we can see more than 50,000 people have come here. The only reason for it, the people are getting ready to get BJP into the power in Tamil Nadu, especially in 2026, it is going to be BJP, only BJP. We are going to win more than 200 seats in Tamil Nadu. So we can see that more than 50,000 people have come here only for Annamalai. People are very upset about what is happening in DMK, especially the corruption that is going on. They are stealing thousands of crores in just 2 years. So in another 3 years they are planning to steal more than 50,000 crores. Only Annamalai can save Tamil Nadu. So more than 50,000 people are here. You can see. As you can see, can you show the crowd?
We are in fact showing the crowd. Remember, the timing of the Padyatra is important because Annamalai had recently met Governor and submitted documents alleging corruption by senior leaders of the DMK to the tune of 5,600 crore rupees. And this comes exactly after that. Apart from talking about the centre's achievement, Annamalai is also going to talk about corruption charges, alleged corruption charges against senior leaders of the DMK, and this also includes the first family of the DMK. So the mood here among the cadre is that this is the first time that they're all energized and they're all going to work along with Annamalai, cover all the 234 constituencies, all the 39 parliamentary constituencies, and tell the people about the centre's achievements for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they are also going to make allegations against the DMK, talking about the DMK files that the BJP says is an expose of corruption by the DMK. They want to portray BJP as the only party that is not corrupt, and that's why the Padyatra is going to be seeing huge crowds here to welcome Amit Shah and also to portray Annamalai as the face of the state BJP.
வாஞ்சிநாதன் தன்னுடைய நினைவாத கர்ப்பிணியை விட்டுவிட்டு ஆசி என்ற அவர் கொடுங்கோலனை குற்றச்சாட்டு இந்த தேசம் இப்படித்தான் வளர வேண்டும் என்பதற்காக தன் இன்னுயிரை வீழ்த்தானே வாஞ்சிநாதன் அவர் கண்ட பாரதம்.
In a few minutes from now, we are going to be seeing Union Home Minister arrive at the location there from where Annamalai's 6-month-long Padyatra is going to be flagged off. This is happening in the temple town of Rameswaram. It is going to cover over thousands of kilometers by foot. It's going to take 6 long months. My land, my people is what this Padyatra of Mr. Annamalai is called. He is going to be talking not just about the BJP, he is going to be talking about Prime Minister Modi, the central government's achievements in the last 9 years as well. All of this time to the 2024 elections, because remember, a huge chunk of Lok Sabha seats comes from the state of Tamil Nadu. 39 are the number of seats that are going to be coming in from Tamil Nadu. It's very, very important for the BJP, along with its ally within the DMK, AIDMK, I beg your pardon, to ensure that all of these seats are in their kitty. Purnima continues to be with us, getting us the latest from on ground there. We've already seen huge crowds waiting for the arrival of the Union Home Minister, who is going to be flagging off this mega Padyatra. Who from the AIADMK are we going to be seeing there today when Union Home Minister Amit Shah is there, Purnima?
Well, the other alliance partners of the BJP are here. The ADMK has in fact supported in Mann and Makkal, which is my soil, my land and my people. But so far no one from the ADMK has come here. Remember, Edappadi Palaniswamy was invited by Annamalai. Edappadi said that he and his party will support the Yatra. But today at the inaugural ceremony, not anyone from the ADMK is present. It's the other smaller alliance partners of the BJP that are in fact present here. But ADMK's absence here at the inaugural event so far. But they, however, extended support to BJP's campaign ahead of 2024 elections. They may participate in the course of the Yatra because this is going to be her 200-day long Yatra covering all the 39 Lok Sabha constituencies, 234 State Assembly constituencies, and the ADMK says that they will send their representatives throughout the period to support the BJP's campaign. But this is going to be very crucial because the BJP here in Tamil Nadu is trying to portray the party as the only party that is not corrupt, and is also going to tell the people about alleged corruption cases that senior leaders of the DMK are facing. So that's also something that Annamalai will highlight during the course. They will carry a complaint box to them to ask the people about the kind of challenges and difficulties that they are going to face, and that is also going to be the highlight where he will interact with villagers and talk about the problems that they are facing and how DMK has not done much for people. So that is also going to be one part of the campaign that the BJP
there. I'll come back to you, but BJP's Narayan Tirupati joining us here on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. How big a fillip is this Padyatra going to be, do you think?
This is really a wonderful evening, and a lot of cadres from BJP, public and other NDA party cadres and leaders are here in Rameswaram. It's really a fantastic evening, and we are confident by the end will emerge a very strong force in Tamil Nadu.
Mr. Annamalai, Mr. Narayan Tirupati, Annamalai is going to be flagging off that Padyatra. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is going to be there as well. We are going to be seeing this Padyatra go on for 6 long months. I believe we do not have that line, but Purnima, my colleague, continues to be with us, getting us the latest. We are standing by for Union Home Minister Amit Shah to arrive in Rameswaram as well. We'll keep a track of that and much more here on CNN News 18. Before now, a quick break.
Now, he says that the first batch was stopped day before yesterday, and the second batch, consisting of players from Arunachal Pradesh, did not go. The CISF Jawans and immigration officers had stopped us. These are all quotes. Then Arunachal Pradesh players were first denied a visa. Then when we requested, they got a stapled visa. We were told that it is a government decision. We want the government to send at least 5 other players, or else their efforts will go to waste.
शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए। हमें बताया गया कि आप लोगों को परसों रोका गया एयरपोर्ट पे। कल जो और 3 खिलाड़ी अरुणाचल प्रदेश थे उनको नहीं जाने दिया गया। क्या सूचनाएं आपको दी गई जब आपको रोका गया, और क्या सूचना अभी आपके पास है? क्या ये टीम पार्टिसिपेट कर रही है गेम्स में या नहीं?
सर अभी तक जो हमें सूचना मिली है ऊपर, अभी हमारे जो गवर्नमेंट है नेटवर्क, वो अभी डिसाइड कर रहे हैं कि क्या होना चाहिए। अभी तक कोई क्लियर हुआ नहीं है, हालांकि आज शायद 10 बजे तक 11 बजे तक क्लियर हो जाएगा। लेकिन अभी तक हमें यही बताया गया है कि आपको अभी रुकना है, आपको नहीं जाना है, क्योंकि ये हमारी कंट्री की बात है, तो इसलिए हम लोग वहाँ पे रुक गए।
आपको किसने बताया ये
हमारे साथ इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर्स थे और CISF के जवान थे वहाँ पे, वो आए हमारे पास, उन्होंने बोला कि सर आपको रोकना पड़ेगा। और कहीं ऊपर से ऑर्डर था, ये पता नहीं।
तो ये जो 3 बच्चे अरुणाचल के हैं, इनका क्या नाम है और इनको स्टेपल्ड वीजा दिया गया था और इनकी फिर से बोला गया था कि इनकी एप्लीकेशन मूव करो एम्बेसी में?
सर हमने इनको हमने जो पहले एप्लीकेशन लगाई थी, तो उसके बाद उन लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं किया था पहली बार। तो फिर हमने अप्रोच किया, गवर्नमेंट ने हमारे अप्रोच किया होगा, AIU के मेंबर्स ने, हमारे सेक्रेटरी सर ने अप्रोच किया होगा कि इनको सर वीजा दे दीजिए, प्लेयर है, स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर को बचाना है, डेवलप करना है। तो उन लोगों ने फिर सर वीजा के लिए एक्सेप्ट किया, तो हमने 25 को दोबारा से इनकी एप्लीकेशन लगाई और उन्होंने 26 को हमें फिर वीजा दिया, तो वो वीजा स्टेपल था सर।
अच्छा, और पहले वीजा ही नहीं दिया था?
पहले वीजा ही नहीं दिया था सर, पहले कोई जवाब ही नहीं आया था उधर से कि देंगे या नहीं।
और ये सिर्फ 3 लोगों पे ही ऑब्जेक्शन लिया जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश से?
ये 3 लोग ही है सर, जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश के हमारे बच्चे हैं, तीनों बच्चे वही बच्चे हैं, उनका स्टेपल वीजा।
तो आपने यहाँ पे एम्बेसी में किसी से आप लोगों ने बात किया? आप लोगों ने एम्बेसी में किसी से बात किया?
हम लोगों ने सर, हमने तो एसोसिएशन को और जो AIU के मेंबर्स हैं उनको हमने बता दिया कि सर हमें ऐसे रोक दिया गया है, और ये तो वो लोग अपने इस तरह से बात कर रहे हैं उन लोगों से। अभी टीम रोक दी गई है।
तो अब आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हैं ना?
एक कम से कम 5 खिलाड़ी तो जाए, टोटल 8 में से 3 खिलाड़ी ये लोग नहीं जाए तो 5 खिलाड़ी जाए और यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। तो अगर इनका रिजल्ट आता है अच्छा, तो हम चाइना पे और प्रेशर बना सकते हैं कि हमें आप मेडल टैली पे भी नहीं आने देते हो।
तो आप लोगों को ये अंदाजा था कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश के जो बच्चे हैं उनको ये रोकेंगे, क्योंकि 2011-12 से प्रथा चलती आ रही है, तो स्टेपल्ड वीजा ही देते हैं हमारे एथलीट्स को ये?
जी सर।
तो आपको
हमारे प्लेयर्स को वो हमारे प्लेयर्स भी समझ रहे हैं कि हमें जो वीजा दिया गया है तो वो हमें नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेंगे वहाँ पे। ये हमें इंडिया गवर्नमेंट नहीं जाने देगी और वहाँ हमें ऐसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे वीजा के साथ। तो उन लोगों ने खुद बोला कि सर एटलीस्ट हमारे ये 5 प्लेयर जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत की है, मेडल लेके आए, हम चाहते हैं कि ये लोग तो जाए। और अगर ये लोग जाएंगे, मेडल लेके आएंगे, तो कम से कम उनको लगेगा कि ये लोग मेडल लेके आते हैं। तो हमारे 3 प्लेयर्स जो थे वो भी मेडलिस्ट थे, हमें ऑलरेडी थोड़ा मतलब ग्रेटिट्यूड मिलेगा कि हम लोग भी थे मेडल की रेस में। तो अभी तो पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करने से तो किसी को भी नहीं माना जाएगा ना कि वो लोग मेडल लेके भी आ सकते हैं। हमारे पास लास्ट ईयर जो लास्ट एशियन गेम्स हुए थे उसके मेडलिस्ट प्लेयर हमारे टीम में है सर।
ये 3 अरुणाचल प्रदेश के बच्चों का नाम क्या है खिलाड़ियों का? सर
एक अनिलू तेगा,
हाँ,
नेपुंग लंबू और नेमन वांगशु। ये तीनों प्लेयर्स हमारे अरुणाचल प्रदेश ईटानगर से बिलोंग करते हैं और ये राष्ट्रीय रक्षा यूनिवर्सिटी गांधीनगर गुजरात के स्टूडेंट्स हैं सर।
We're learning that India has pulled out of the games in China over stapled visas which have been issued to Arunachal athletes. Now the decision came hours after airport authorities in New Delhi stopped an 8-member contingent comprising of 5 athletes, a coach and 2 support staff at the boarding gate minutes before departure. This happened Thursday at midnight. Now, according to the coach Raghavendra Singh, this is essentially those were the details that were given by the coach Raghavendra Singh. Now, MEA spokesperson Ridham Bagchi has called the move unacceptable as a mark of protest against China's decision to issue these stapled visas instead of stamped ones to 3 athletes from Arunachal Pradesh. India has withdrawn its entire martial arts team from the World University Games, which begin Friday today in Chengdu. Now we're crossing over to CNN News 18's Foreign Affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha. Abhishek, take us through these developments.
So clearly, this is yet again diplomatic tension that has emerged between the two sides when China has issued staple visa to Indian spokesperson. We know for our audiences, staple visa is a type of visa that is affixed to an application passport with a staple. It is not a stamped visa that we normally give to people from other countries. And China has been giving staple visa to people in Jammu and Kashmir in the past. And from Arunachal Pradesh also. And it claims that Arunachal Pradesh is part of its own territory. That has been a long pending border dispute between the two sides. Where India has always said that China is trying to, incurse upon the sovereign territory of India. But now, recently we have seen that there was some eagerness from the Chinese side that the border disputes or the border tensions should be put in the right context in the bilateral relationship. so that the other aspect of the bilateral relationship like trade and other I think they should not be impacted. That has been said and reiterated by senior Chinese leadership time and again. Recently when Wang Yi, the Chinese foreign minister, was meeting NSC Doval in Johannesburg on the sidelines of this meeting, the same statement was reiterated. But now again China has gone back to its provocative stance where it has given staple visa, which has not gone down well with the Indian Ministry of External Affairs. We have seen yesterday Arindam Bagchi, spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs, responding to the question of the Indian spokesperson being issued triple visa. He said that this is a totally objectionable thing, unacceptable, and India will respond in kind when the time will come. So clearly, the thing that China has tried to create a normalcy between the two sides is...
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde, cutting across to Rameswaram in Tamil Nadu, from where we are going to be seeing the BJP state president launch his 6-month-long Padyatra. Along with him is going to be Union Home Minister Amit Shah today as he flags off that big event for the BJP. Purnima, my colleague, joining us from on ground from that event, getting us the mood, the kind of motive, the intent that the BJP is looking at, and of course, what really it means for the allies of the BJP ahead of 2024 as well. Purnima, we're standing by for Union Home Minister Amit Shah to reach the venue there. He's just about landed in Rameswaram is what we're learning.
Absolutely, and in another 10 minutes he will be here at the venue. And you were talking about the allies. ADMK has sent a senior leader of the ADMK, RB Uday Kumar, who's also a Madurai strongman, to attend the inaugural session here. RB Uday Kumar just arrived. So ADMK has also sent representatives, clearly sending out a loud and clear message that ADMK-BJP alliance is very much intact, and that all the alliance partners of the BJP will continue to ensure that they fight DMK in 2024. The common enemy for them is the DMK. That's the message that is coming from here. ADMK also now attends the inaugural ceremony, and interestingly, a lot of people have come here to attend the Yatra. In fact, one of the interesting visuals from Ground Zero is a portrait of Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding the Sengol, and here it says Yen Mann, En Makkal, which means my land, my people. So a portrait of Prime Minister with the Sengol here, and he's come all the way from Tirupur to attend this. You've come all the way from Tirupur.
Manbanda Kalingan. Okay. The Kalimanla na senja work. Annamalai ji engur Pulavadi கிராமம் வந்திருந்தாங்க. அப்போ வந்து இந்த எம்மன் பயணத்தப்போ இந்த சிலையை அண்ணாமலை ஜி கொடுக்கலான்னு நான் வந்திருக்கேன். இது வந்து களிமண்ல செஞ்சது. அத கொடுக்கலான்னு. மரியாதைக்குரிய அண்ணன் தேவராஜன் மாதாக்கே. has made it himself and மரியாதைக்குரிய பாரதிய கட்சியுடைய ராமநாதபுரம் பகுதியுடைய
that this is something he's met Annamalai in Tirupur, and he decided that he should present Annamalai a portrait of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he's done this himself, and he's come all the way from Tirupur to personally hand it over to Annamalai. A lot of people not from here but from other districts of the state have also come here to participate in the Yatra, in the Padyatra. It's going to be a 200-day Padyatra covering all the 39 Lok Sabha constituencies, and many people have come here personally to support Annamalai here, and you can see at least tens of thousands of people have already gathered to get a glimpse of Home Minister Amit Shah, and also to pledge their support and to Annamalai. So huge crowds here, not just BJP cadre but some of the public have also come here to personally join the Yatra. So that's the kind of mood here from Ground Zero. Poonam, back to you.
And there's a lot at stake for the BJP and its allies come 2024. The next general elections are less than a year away. Last time around, we saw the kind of disastrous performance for the BJP and its allies. It was a complete sweep for the DMK and its allies in 2019. There will be some sort of role reversal. There will be some sort of inroads that the AIA, DMK, the BJP alliance makes together. Is the hope, is the intent of this particular Yatra as well?
Absolutely. The last time Home Minister Amit Shah was here, in fact, the target that was set for the BJP and its allies for 2024 was at least to get 25 to 39 seats. That was, in fact, said by the Home Minister himself at a public speech. And now with this Yatra taking place just months before the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, clearly is going to be significant, because this is going to be a litmus test for Annamalai, who is trying to emerge stronger than the AIADMK, trying to rake up issues that have impacted the people of Tamil Nadu, and therefore political analysts have said that the BJP is trying to emerge as a stronger opposition after Annamalai became the president. And now with this Padayatra planned, trying to talk about Prime Minister's achievements, central government's achievements, and also trying to highlight the corruption that's prevailing within the ruling DMK. These are going to be the strategies for the Tamil Nadu BJP. Interestingly, many BJP cadre here also want Prime Minister to contest from Tamil Nadu as well. So that is also something that is being echoed on the ground here, Poonam, that they want Prime Minister to contest from Tamil Nadu this time around. So that's also the speculation that's still doing the rounds. There's still more time for the BJP to decide on that, but many of them personally want Prime Minister to contest from Tamil Nadu. That's also something that we are getting to learn from the cadre here, who've been waiting for at least 2-3 hours for the Yatra to begin, to walk along with Annamalai and complete the 6-month-long What the slogans that are raised here is that Modi should come back to power once again. Annamalai is going to be the future chief minister. Annamalai is the leader for Tamil Nadu people. These are being echoed by the BJP cadre here, even as we await Amit Shah to come here to kickstart the 6-month-long Padyatra.
It's going to be over 1,700 kilometers is what we're learning over a span of 6 months. Annamalai, the state president of the BJP from Tamil Nadu, is undertaking this Yatra not only for his political fortunes as far as the BJP's 2024 strategy goes, but also to highlight Prime Minister Modi's achievements in the last 9 years. The BJP is going to return to power at the centre is the pitch. The BJP, the state president, and all of those who are going to be walking these thousands of kilometers are going to be making it. All begins from Rameswaram, from the temple town of Rameswaram, going on to over 1,700 kilometers. DMK's A. Sarvanan now joining us here on the phone line. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. How do you look at this 6-month-long Padyatra that Mr. Annamalai is undertaking?
This is just to deflect attention from the pressing issues the nation is facing. I think Mr. Annamalai should also fight for Manipur issue, ensure returns in Manipur. We hope that he will create awareness for Manipur. That is the most pressing issue he is facing. Yeah,
but it all comes just a few months ahead of 2024, Mr. Sarvanan. Last time around in 2019, we saw it was a complete sweep for your party. The AIADMK from its 2014 tally coming down to barely nothing in 2019. Do you think this Padyatra by the BJP and its allies is going to give them a fillip ahead of 2024?
We cannot hope to have any electoral gains in the state of Tamil Nadu because their policies are opposed to the ideology, the core ideology. Even their ally, Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, has not this Padayatra. This is just to promote. He wants to promote himself. He has cited every other leader in the BJP. He wants to promote himself. That is why the people of Tamil Nadu reject him.
Right, Mr. Sarvanan, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The DMK says this is not going to have any difference on ground. The BJP is not going to make the kind of inroads it wants to in Tamil Nadu. There is no hope for the Saffron Party, is what DMK and its allies believe. Purnima, my colleague, continues to be with us from on ground there in Rameswaram, from where the Padyatra is going to be flagged off. When are we expecting the arrival of Annamalai and the Union Home Minister, Purnima?
Well, BJP State President Annamalai has in fact arrived here at the venue. The allies of the BJP, they are in fact making speeches right now. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, Home Minister Amit Shah will also arrive here, and then they will formally launch, kickstart the Yatra, and then it will they will start from here and they will walk for about 2 kilometers. That's the plan for today, and from tomorrow, from Rameswaram, he will be covering Ramanathapuram, Sivagangai and Madurai. So that will be Annamalai's plan for the next few days. But at the moment, Annamalai has already arrived, and in the next 5 to 10 minutes, Home Minister will also arrive, and then we can expect a grand ceremony here, and the Yatra will officially be kick-started by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. So all eyes on what Amit Shah will have to say, because the last time he came here, he said that BJP and its allies will get a minimum of 25 seats in 2024 elections. And now with the BJP trying to plan this Yatra ahead of 2024 elections, will this have a bearing on the target that the BJP has set for itself and its allies? That remains to be seen. So at the inauguration here, we can probably get an idea of what the BJP's plan is. But for the next 6 months, Annamalai, the state president of the BJP, is planning to highlight the central government's achievements, talk about the achievements of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and also talk about the DMK files that BJP had in fact spoken about, saying that that is about the corruption of DMK senior leaders, including the first family of the DMK. So that is also something that Annamalai will highlight during the 6-month-long Yatra. So these are going to be the strategies for Annamalai in the run-up to 2024 elections. And in the next 5 minutes, we can expect our Home Minister to arrive here at the venue, and then the event will begin.
Right, stay on with me. BJP's Vinod P. Selvam now joining us here on the phone line. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The mood on ground is pretty eclectic for the BJP there. We see Annamalai already on stage. Union Home Minister is going to be arriving there any minute now. What do you think this Yatra is going to achieve? How do you think this is going to impact your 2024 prospects?
See, the Yatra taken up by our BJP state president, Shri Annamalai, is clearly to throw light on the extremely corrupt 2 years of DMK government. The new alliance which has been formed, trying to mask themselves under the name of India, is nothing but purely a bunch of corrupt parties come together for a very corrupt cause, and to make sure that the crusader against corrupt politicians in this country, Sri Narendra Modi, doesn't come back to a historic third term. But the crowd today, which is assembled at Rameswaram, is just an indicator of how people are thronging to back the NDA and how they want Narendra Modi to come back to power for a third term, and it's going to be even bigger than what he did in the 2019 parliamentary election.
Sure, Mr. Selvam, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The Padyatra of Mr. Annamalai and the supporters of the BJP is going to begin shortly. It's going to be flagged off by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. That happens in just a few minutes from now, and we'll keep a track of that for you here on CNN News 18. Right after this quick break, don't go anywhere.
Brought to you by...
It doesn't look like on action, very much on ground, and the already low diplomatic ties between two countries continues, which is impacting now people-to-people engagement a lot.
Could you explain for our viewers what exactly the difference is between a stapled visa and a stamped visa, and why it's so significant when it comes to this?
So, staple visa is a type of visa that is affixed to an applicant's passport with a staple, as opposed to traditional visa stamp. Such visas have been used in certain cases, particularly when there are sensitive political or territorial issues between the two countries. China has used a staple visa for residents of Jammu and Kashmir in the past, and Arunachal Pradesh also, which China has always claimed that it is a part of China. Recently, we had seen Chinese government renaming certain places in Arunachal Pradesh as well. The use of the staple visa can be seen as a diplomatic gesture or a statement of disagreement by one country towards another. And in this context, you have to see the recent statements made by the Chinese government, where they have said that they want to normalize the bilateral relationship, sidelining the controversy or the disputes on the border issue that the two countries have had in the recent decades, and in fact the disputes which have played up ever since the Galwan clash, impacting the overall dynamics of bilateral relationship between the two countries. But now with the latest incidents where the spokesperson have been issued this staple visa, once again China has officially sort of claimed that Arunachal Pradesh belongs to it, and it will not issue normal stamped visa to people residing in Arunachal Pradesh because it is its own territory. That is yet again going to flare up, and a diplomatic fallout is going to be expected. The first casualty of that controversy or that tension has been this sports team, which is not now going to participate in the event that was going to be held in Chengdu, when this whole team of martial art sports were going to participate.
Has China ever done this with any other nation?
With India, we are sure that it has done in the case of past in Jammu and Kashmir, and with people from Arunachal Pradesh also. And this is not only China; other countries have also done it, because this whole concept of stable visa is to claim that certain territory does belong to them. It may be being administered by somebody else or some other countries, but that country or that territory belongs to a particular country. So unless until you accept the sovereignty claim of other country on that land, you don't give them a stamp visa and you just give them a staple visa. So this is a kind of diplomatic arrangement that goes on in several parts of the world, and this is where the Indian side has objected, and this is where the Chinese side has tried to provoke Indian Ministry of External Affairs.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those details. We have some more breaking news related to this coming in right now. This is a phone interview with Raghavendra Singh, who was the coach who gave us the chain of events. Now, he says that the first batch was stopped day before yesterday, and the second batch, consisting of players from Arunachal Pradesh, did not go. The CISF Jawans and immigration officers had stopped us. These are all quotes. Then Arunachal Pradesh players were first denied a visa. Then when we requested, they got a stapled visa. We were told that it is a government decision. We want the government to send at least 5 other players, or else their efforts will go to waste.
शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए। हमें बताया गया कि आप लोगों को परसों रोका गया एयरपोर्ट पे। कल जो और 3 खिलाड़ी अरुणाचल प्रदेश थे उनको नहीं जाने दिया गया। क्या सूचनाएं आपको दी गई जब आपको रोका गया, और क्या सूचना अभी आपके पास है? क्या ये टीम पार्टिसिपेट कर रही है गेम्स में या नहीं?
सर, अभी तक जो हमें सूचना मिली है, ऊपर अभी हमारे जो गवर्नमेंट है नेटवर्क, वो अभी डिसाइड कर रहे हैं कि क्या होना चाहिए। अभी तक कोई क्लियर हुआ नहीं है, हालांकि आज शायद 10 बजे तक 11 बजे तक क्लियर हो जाएगा। लेकिन अभी तक हमें यही बताया गया है कि आपको अभी रुकना है, आपको नहीं जाना है, क्योंकि ये हमारी कंट्री की बात है, तो इसलिए हम लोग वहाँ पे रुक गए। आपको
किसने बताया ये
हमारे साथ इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर्स थे और सीआईएसएफ के जवान थे वहाँ पे, वो आए हमारे पास, उन्होंने बोला कि सर आपको रोकना पड़ेगा। और कहीं ऊपर से ऑर्डर था, ये पता नहीं।
तो ये जो 3 बच्चे अरुणाचल के हैं, इनका क्या नाम है, और इनको स्टेपल्ड वीजा दिया गया था और इनकी फिर से बोला गया था कि इनकी एप्लीकेशन मूव करो एम्बेसी में?
सर, इनको हमने जो पहले एप्लीकेशन लगाई थी, तो उसके बाद उन लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं किया था पहली बार। तो फिर हमने अप्रोच किया, गवर्नमेंट ने हमारे अप्रोच किया होगा, एआईयू के मेंबर्स ने, हमारे सेक्रेटरी सर ने अप्रोच किया होगा कि इनको सर वीजा दे दीजिए, प्लेयर है, स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर को बचाना है, डेवलप करना है। तो उन लोगों ने फिर सर वीजा के लिए एक्सेप्ट किया, तो हमने 25 को दोबारा से इनकी एप्लीकेशन लगाई और इन्होंने 26 को हमें फिर वीजा दिया, तो वो वीजा स्टेपल था सर।
अच्छा, और पहले वीजा ही नहीं दिया था?
पहले वीजा ही नहीं दिया था सर, पहले कोई जवाब ही नहीं आया था उधर से कि देंगे या नहीं।
और ये सिर्फ 3 लोगों पे ही ऑब्जेक्शन लिया जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश से?
ये 3 लोग ही है सर, जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश के हमारे बच्चे हैं, तीनों बच्चे वही बच्चे हैं, उनका स्टेपल वीजा।
तो आपने यहाँ पे एम्बेसी में किसी से आप लोगों ने बात किया? आप लोगों ने एम्बेसी में किसी से बात किया?
हम लोगों ने सर, हमने तो एसोसिएशन को और जो एआईयू के मेंबर्स हैं उनको हमने बता दिया कि सर हमें ऐसे रोक दिया गया है, और ये तो वो लोग अपने इस तरह से बात कर रहे हैं हम लोगों से। अभी टीम रोक दी गई है।
तो अब आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हैं ना?
कम से कम 5 खिलाड़ी तो जाए, टोटल 8 में से 3 खिलाड़ी ये लोग नहीं जाए, तो 5 खिलाड़ी जाए और यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। तो अगर इनका रिजल्ट आता है अच्छा, तो हम चाइना पे और प्रेशर बना सकते हैं कि हमें आप मेडल टैली पे भी नहीं आने देते हो।
तो आप लोगों को ये अंदाजा था कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश के जो बच्चे हैं उनको ये रोकेंगे, क्योंकि 2011-12 से प्रथा चलती आ रही है, तो स्टेपल्ड वीजा ही देते हैं हमारे एथलीट्स को ये।
जी सर।
तो आपको
हमारे प्लेयर्स को वो हमारे प्लेयर्स भी समझ गए हैं कि हमें जो वीजा दिया गया है तो वो हमें नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेंगे वहाँ पे। ये हमें इंडिया गवर्नमेंट नहीं जाने देगी और वहाँ हमें ऐसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे वीजा के साथ। तो उन लोगों ने खुद बोला था सर एटलीस्ट हमारे ये 5 प्लेयर जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत की है, मेडल लेके आए, हम चाहते हैं कि ये लोग तो जाए। और अगर ये लोग जाएंगे मेडल लेके आएंगे तो कम से कम उनको लगेगा कि ये लोग मेडल लेके आते हैं। तो हमारे 3 प्लेयर्स जो थे वो भी मेडलिस्ट थे। हमें ऑलरेडी थोड़ा मतलब ग्रेटिट्यूड मिलेगा कि हम लोग भी थे मेडल की रेस में। तो अभी तो पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करने से तो किसी को भी नहीं माना जाएगा ना कि वो लोग मेडल लेके भी आ सकते हैं। हमारे पास लास्ट ईयर जो लास्ट एशियन गेम्स हुए थे उसके मेडलिस्ट प्लेयर हमारे टीम में है सर।
ये 3 अरुणाचल प्रदेश के बच्चों का नाम।
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5. The state of Manipur continues to be on the edge. There is an uneasy calm that prevails in the state. The security personnel have been increased. There's heavy police deployment. There's heavy CAPF deployment as well. The center is trying to ensure that all efforts are put in place to bring peace together between the two communities. Top RSS functionary came out and spoke about how the conflict that we're seeing in Manipur is not related to a certain religion or between two religions. It is about tribals and non-tribals, and it's an ethnic conflict that the state has been witnessing for several decades. That was also voiced by members of the other community. Listen in to some reactions coming in.
This is a tribal conflict. 2 tribes, historically very hostile to each other, and it exploded into violence because of certain legislation which was passed. It is given a religious twist, but it is not a religious conflict between 2 religions. It's between 2 tribes. And we must now not do anything that will worsen the situation.
We are right now standing in Kangwai. This is the area which is in between. This is in the buffer zone, and in one side it's Churachandrapur and one side it's the valley. So there has been very intense firing since yesterday in this place, and there are bunkers there that side, and the security forces are this side. So continuously all through the day intense firing took place, in which there were 5 to 6 people who were injured. 3 people have been hospitalized. That's what we are coming to know from the ground sources, and this is the reason for which more MPV. You can see that still the visuals of destruction is there, and this is basically the buffer zone as we have been showing it for a couple of times. In all the areas there is like none of the houses are left, and this is actually the border area between 2 sides, and this is an area where intense firing took place yesterday. A couple of houses were also burned. That's what we are getting in from the local sources, and you can see that MBV, mine protected vehicles, are there, and now none of the vehicles are allowed to come this side because there has been, it's not an intermittent fire, but it was an intense firing all through the day. Even in the night in this area, which is very close to the Churachandpur, continuous firing took place all through the day, and you can see that all the army professionals, they are there, and you can see more MPVs coming from that side, because this is basically a zone where any time firing can take place, and it's just in between, and this is a place where any time firing takes place, and not intermittent firing, intense firing takes place, and that's why such MPVs, more MPVs are coming so that protection can be given. And in such a situation, the forces can mobilize themselves and move. So it's a very, very, very vulnerable and very sensitive area where we are standing. It's just between the hills and the valley and the actual war zone. We are now standing in YKPI. Now YKPI is one of the most important buffer zone between hill and valley, and it is the duty of the forces to maintain this buffer zone, to maintain the relationship between the two communities in such a way so that no untoward incidents takes place. And if we show like this is YKPI where we are standing, and you can see the hill and the valley is clear. Now this, in the villages which are there in the valley, you can see there all the Metis stay. And if we show the other side, the foothill zone, from the foothill zone, the villages of the Kuki villages are there. Now the army is present in foothills also, and they are also present in the Methi villages.
Moving on now, India has pulled out of the World University Games as far as the Wushu martial art goes. Why? Because China has provoked once again. 3 athletes from Arunachal were given staple visas. They were blocked at the airport. Then India decided that none of the players are going to go. The entire contingent then decided to withdraw from this event. But they've been practicing and their efforts have been put on for months together. Why should that go to waste because of this provocation from Chinese side? India has taken a very strong stance as far as this goes. It's completely unacceptable, is what the MEA came out and said yesterday. CNN News 18 spoke to the stakeholders. We spoke to the coach of this team. We also spoke to one of those players that comes from Arunachal Pradesh. Listen in to what they had to tell us.
क्या सूचनाएं आपको दी गई जब आपको रोका गया, और क्या सूचना अभी आपके पास है? क्या ये टीम पार्टिसिपेट कर रही है गेम्स में या नहीं?
सर अभी तक जो हमें सूचना मिली है ऊपर, अभी हमारे जो गवर्नमेंट है नेटवर्क वो अभी डिसाइड कर रहे हैं कि क्या होना चाहिए. अभी तक कोई क्लियर हुआ नहीं है. आज शायद 10 बजे तक 11 बजे तक क्लियर हो जाएगा. लेकिन अभी तक हमें यही बताया गया है कि आपको अभी रुकना है, आपको नहीं जाना है, क्योंकि ये हमारी कंट्री की बात है, तो इसलिए हम लोग वहाँ पे रुक गए. आपको
किसने बताया ये
हमारे साथ इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर्स थे और CISF के जवान थे वहाँ पे. वो आए हमारे पास, उन्होंने बोला कि सर आपको रोकना पड़ेगा. और कहीं ऊपर से ऑर्डर था, ये पता नहीं.
तो ये जो 3 बच्चे अरुणाचल के हैं, इनका क्या नाम है, और इनको स्टेपल्ड वीजा दिया गया था और इनकी फिर से बोला गया था कि इनकी एप्लीकेशन मूव करो एम्बेसी में?
तो हमने जब पहले एप्लीकेशन लगाई थी तो उसके बाद उन लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं किया था पहले बात. तो फिर हमने अप्रोच किया, गवर्नमेंट ने हमारे अप्रोच किया होगा, AIU के मेंबर्स ने, हमारे सेक्रेटरी सर ने अप्रोच किया होगा कि इनको सर वीजा दे दीजिए, प्लेयर है, स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर को बचाना है, डेवलप करना है. तो उन लोगों ने फिर सर वीजा के लिए एक्सेप्ट किया. तो हमने 25 को दोबारा से इनकी एप्लीकेशन लगाई और उन्होंने 26 को हमें फिर वीजा दिया. तो वो वीजा स्टेपल था सर.
अच्छा, और पहले वीजा ही नहीं दिया था?
पहले वीजा ही नहीं दिया था.
3 लोगों पे ही ऑब्जेक्शन लिया जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश से?
ये 3 लोग ही है सर जो अरुणाचल प्रदेश के हमारे बच्चे हैं, तीनों बच्चे.
आप लोगों ने एम्बेसी में किसी से बात किया?
हम लोगों ने सर, हमने तो एसोसिएशन को और जो AIU के मेंबर्स हैं उनको हमने बता दिया कि सर हमें ऐसे रोक दिया गया है, और ये तो वो लोग अपने इस तरह से बात कर रहे हैं हम लोगों से. अभी टीम रोक दी गई है.
तो अब आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हैं ना?
कम से कम 5 खिलाड़ी तो जाएं. टोटल 8 में से 3 खिलाड़ी ये लोग नहीं जाए तो 5 खिलाड़ी जाएं और यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे. तो अगर इनका रिजल्ट आता है अच्छा तो हम चाइना पे और प्रेशर बना सकते हैं कि हमें आप मेडल टैली पे भी. तो आप हमारे प्लेयर्स को हमारे प्लेयर्स भी समझ रहे हैं कि हमें जो वीजा दिया गया है तो हमें नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेंगे वहाँ पे. ये हमें इंडिया गवर्नमेंट नहीं जाने देगी और वहाँ हमें ऐसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे वीजा के साथ. तो उन लोगों ने खुद बोला कि सर एटलीस्ट हमारे ये 5 प्लेयर जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत की है, मेडल लेके आए, हम चाहते हैं कि ये लोग तो जाए.
What exactly happened, if you can elaborate for our viewers?
Can I say in this matter? Like, we are from Arunachal. 3 people are from Arunachal Pradesh. So we apply our visa for our this World University Games, but we got staple visa. And it's okay, we got staple visa. We are not allowed to go to China. But this is, I guess, this is not good decision to back off all our Wushu team from this game.
Okay.
We have no comments regarding government. Okay, we are just saying our feeling. Like it's okay if we 3 are not going, but they should at least allow our whole team to go. And
the other 5 players.
Yeah, other fighters. They will surely bring gold medal for India.
Okay.
So that's the only that I'm no more. Nothing. We have no comment on this.
Yeah, that's right. I can understand your situation. Also, I want to ask you one thing. Is it the first time that you are getting the stapled visa, or your fellow colleagues have been getting the stapled visa before this also?
Yeah, we used to get. This is our maybe Wusu. For Wusu this first time, and I also heard about that archery also.
Yeah.
Earlier they get staple visa.
Okay. So were you aware about this situation to come up? Little. Okay.
But
So
hoping for, but because all were trying our all our thirds were trying to give us visa, but we were hoping that we will get visa, but fortunately we couldn't get our visa.
It has come to our notice that stapled visas were issued to some of our citizens representing the country in an international sporting event in China. This is unacceptable, and we have lodged our strong protest with the Chinese side, reiterating our consistent position on the matter. And India reserves the right to suitably respond to such actions.
Monsoons have wreaked havoc across the country. Let's get you the status of what's happening across the country. Let's begin with Delhi, where parts of the national capital region, including Noida, experienced light to moderate rainfall today. Delhi's ITO Road yet again faced waterlogging because of this heavy downpour. ITO Road is the one place in Delhi that has been hugely impacted with waterlogging this entire season. Incessant rainfall from previous night has created waterlogging situation in Gujarat's Navsari. Remember, earlier Navsari district collector had declared a holiday in the city in the light of the situation. After heavy rains lashed the parts of the state, a rise in water levels of Sinhan and Ghee dams of Dwarka have been observed. Amid incessant downpour in several parts of Assam, a rise in water level of Brahmaputra river has been observed. Following heavy rains, water entered several houses in Guwahati as well. The state government had earlier directed all districts to be on high alert. Flood-like situation has been reported in Thane city in Maharashtra amid incessant rains. Condition in Thane continues to be critical as water level of various lakes and reservoirs have risen. Earlier, the Indian Meteorological Department had issued a yellow alert for both Thane and Mumbai in light of the situation. With that, it's a wrap from my side here on this edition of Nation at 5. Viewpoint up next, coming up with Griha.
Good evening and a warm welcome. I'm Griha Atul and you're watching Viewpoint. Let's begin this broadcast this evening by telling you a story. Two, in fact, from two different parts of the country. One from Manipur, where three women were stripped to their bones and paraded naked by a mob, one of them even gang raped. And the second one from Udupi in Karnataka, where three girls from a paramedical college are accused and caught while filming a fellow female student in a washroom corridor. Where do you think the police and the National Commission for Women reached in no time? A reasonable guess would have said the former, but it was, like we all know by now, not Manipur, but the Udupi college. A video row where the video in question is now deleted from the records. The cyber cell of the police ensures no circulation whatsoever has been done. No complaints have come in as the victims didn't want to press the charges. And the police still had to rather register a suo motu FIR because of the protests and conspiracy theories being floated on social media. Is all this outrage now spilling onto the grounds